Welcome to the Friday Sports Page. I'm Lisa Lane, filling in for Kevin Acey and Annie Heilbrunn. I have a lot of news to fill you in on before this Memorial Weekend. I'll be talking college baseball, track and field, water polo, Padres, and I'll even be joined by the editor-in-chief of Women's Running Magazine on some tips to fully prepare for the Rock and Roll Marathon coming up next week. But first, let's get started with some college baseball. Yesterday, San Diego State fell to UNLV 6-3 after taking a 2-0 lead. The Aztecs fell apart in the bottom of the fifth when starting pitcher Michael Cederoth found himself in some trouble when a single, double, and walk loaded the bases for UNLV. It was Brandon Bayardi that gave UNLV a 5-2 lead after he hit a grand slam. With the loss, the Aztecs faced off against Fresno State in the Mountain West Baseball Tournament today. In other baseball news, USD pulled off a wild win yesterday over BYU. For the third time this season, USD beat BYU with a walk-off hit. This time it was in a 9-8 win in the West Coast Conference Tournament. It was all tied up at 8 in the 10th inning when USD's Austin Bailey hit an RBI single that allowed Chris Bryant to score. The win advanced USD to the winner's bracket earlier today against University of San Francisco. Now going from the baseball diamond to the track and field, the 16th ranked SDSU women's track and field team is currently fighting for an NCAA championship spot. The Aztecs sent 3 women to the quarterfinals today: LaQuisha Jackson, Dana Robertson, and Allison Reiser. Jackson qualified for the 100-meter dash yesterday and finished in second. Robertson and Reiser both qualified for the 400-meter hurdles. The top 12 finishers from the prelims this weekend will go on to the NCAA championship rounds that will take place from June 5th to the 8th. Still continuing on the Aztecs, SDSU women's water polo season might be over, but not for sophomore utility player Taylor Moreno. Moreno, who finished the season tied with second most goals at 38, received a special and rare invitation this week. Let's take a look. After finishing her sophomore water polo season at San Diego State with 38 goals and 23 rejections drawn, Taylor Moreno is getting recognition on a national level. Moreno has been handpicked to attend the USA Water Polo Junior National Team Selection Camp, a camp only 29 collegiate athletes were invited to attend.
It's pretty rare considering there's probably a million girls, that are, not a million, but there's a lot of girls that are playing water polo right now who are my age, and a lot of girls who have put in the same amount of hours as me and work just as hard. And to be handpicked by the coach, that means that he knows you and that he's been looking at you and watching the way that you play. And it's pretty rare because not all the girls will obviously have this opportunity, and there's one of 29 out of all the teams that are in college, all the girls who are 20 and under playing water polo for this long. To be one of 29 is pretty rare.
This experience is 10 years in the making for Moreno, who started competing in water polo at the age of 9. The selection camp will begin on June 15th, and already the Florida native is eager to challenge herself and learn from this opportunity.
I think a lot of it has to do with me gaining experience from playing with different people. A lot of the time when you play on one team, like here at this team at State, you're playing with the same people. They get to know you, they get to know your passing, your shooting. The goalies will know where you're going to shoot, that kind of thing. And I think it's going to be cool to be in a different atmosphere because then they don't know me as well and I don't know them as well. So it'd be cool, a good learning experience for me to get to know how to play with different players rather than playing with the same people that I always play with.
Out of the 29 girls invited to the selection camp, only the top 18 will compete at the Junior World Championships in Greece in August. The ultimate goal is to win it all, which for Taylor Moreno would be an unbelievable reward for all the time she has dedicated to the sport.
If I got to win it all, that would be a really great experience. Not only would it be a great experience to bring back to my team everything I've learned, but it'd be awesome to see that all of this hard work has paid off that I've put in for 10 years of playing water polo.
Shifting from college sports to the pros, our very own Michelle Gingras brings us an exclusive interview with Padres infielder Jedd Gyorko.
It's so Michelle Gingras here with Jed Jerko, and our Padres 10 questions for today. So thank you for agreeing to do this with us. First one I have is just when I met you, even you're so calm and composed, and people wouldn't think that you were just a rookie in this league. How do you kind of keep your composure, and how do you maintain that all the time?
That's kind of just how I've always been. I've never gotten really too excited or too down over one certain thing. This is a game of consistency and trying to go out and try to repeat the same thing over and over again. So you can't really get caught up in the highs and the lows. You got to try to stay even keel all the time.
You've transitioned a lot from second and third base. They have you playing a different position all the time. What's that like?
It's all right. Obviously, it gives me a lot of confidence to know that Buddy feels like I can play both of those and can put me at either one of them at any certain time. So both of them they're both going pretty well. Just kind of got to get used to being on one side or the other.
Has anyone here been a mentor to you since you've kind of come up with the Padres? I know you've been in the minor leagues for 2 years, but has anyone since you've kind of come over here taken to you?
I talk with Chase a lot. We're both infielders, kind of both the middle of the order guys, and he's someone that's been through a lot, and he's still relatively young. What a lot of people don't realize is how he's still young. So it's good to kind of go to him and approach him and just kind of feel him out, how he feels about the game in certain situations.
Has he ever given you any insight or any advice that you've taken with you so far? Anything that stands out to you?
There's a lot of stuff. We talk about a lot of things about the game and just stuff like that. So it's hard to really point out one certain thing, but he's been very valuable in my experience so far.
Time now for some golf. Every week, UT golf writer Todd Leonard takes us out to the links for a weekly course review. This week, we went to the Rancho Bernardo Inn. Was this course up to par? Let's find out.
Our course of the week this week is the Rancho Bernardo Inn here in Rancho Bernardo. A beautiful spot. Rancho Bernardo, I don't know if people know, was one of the first master plan communities in the country. And one of the things they planned really well is to have the Rancho Bernardo Inn in the middle of this great community. And so this is a really mature golf course, and that's something I really love about it. A lot of old growth trees, a lot of trees on this course. There are some houses, but you don't really get a sense of the houses for a lot of the course. It's a rolling course, kind of nice elevation changes, but not very high, not very low. So it's a lovely course because you move in and out throughout the trees. There are varying lengths on the holes, which is really nice, and you get fairways that roll to one side or the other. Love the back nine, very challenging, but also very beautiful. And then even the 18th hole is one of my favorite in the county. It's funny because it's a par 5. It's not very long, but you come up the fairway to the very last shot to the green. You have this little stream in front of the hole, and I swear, every time I play here, somebody in my group hits it in this little stream. It's totally psychological because it's not that big, but it's a 3-tier green, hard to hit, very fun finishing hole. You can certainly birdie it, but you can also make double or worse all the time. This is a JC Golf course. They have several in the county. It's probably their crown jewel, certainly within the county. So they do a nice job with all their courses, but this one's particularly special, I feel like. I have a lot of favorite holes here at the Rancho Bernardo Inn, but this is probably my most favorite. It's the 16th hole. It's a par 4. You've got houses on the left and a lot of stuff on the right, some trees, a stream over there. But what I most love about it is it's downhill, and if you bomb it on this hole, you can feel like a PGA Tour pro. You hit it even 220, 230 on this 330-yard hole, and you're well within 100 yards. You get to have a wedge in your hand. So it makes it really fun, but it's also a challenge because it's tight enough that if you don't get it just right, you're going to be in junk or be in the houses. So it's really fun. It's a great hole. It's the 16th, so it's a great hole to come to at the end. A lot of fun, and one of my favorite holes out here. Always my favorite part of the course review, the hot dog review, which we also do every week. This is RB Inn's version of a hot dog, and it's actually excellent. I just had my first bite. It's got this nice, kind of different toasty bun. You can tell it's been on a grill because it's got some grill marks on it, just like the hot dog does. Nice good size hot dog. The woman inside is wearing a chef's jacket, so I'm just gonna give it an extra mustard container because of that. So I'm gonna give it actually 4.5 mustard containers out of 5. Bon appetit. Well, that's our course of the week, the Rancho Bernardo Inn. We hope you've enjoyed seeing it. We enjoyed showing it to you. We'll have another course next week. I'm Todd Leonard, UT San Diego's golf writer.
Now it's time for today's real estate and mortgage report with UT's real estate and mortgage analyst, Mayron Aram.